Good evening, chaps and chapettes. Roggor here, and welcome back to Baruk-Gunud, the Lonely Volcano. Now, we have actually got quite a bit of an update this time around, not within the fortress itself, but in the actual mechanics behind the game. I've managed to get another mod working within the framework, the psychology mod. This enables quite a lot of more in-depth, well, psychology within your little colonists. So let's start having a look into these guys' minds. So Durin, which in my mind is this badass Doom guy sort of person, what's he really like in his psyche? Not really. He's extremely independent and trusting, very aggressive, very friendly, naive, laid back, logical, optimistic, and pure? Oh, traditionalist. Okay, and he's extremely not spontaneous or adventurous. Not empathetic or moralistic or rational either. Okay, so he's more sort of like you're sort of like a big friendly bear sort of guy, but you know, you really don't want to piss him off because then there's a bad side. Okay, yeah, that actually fits the whole skull face killing machine thing. Okay, so what about Arimba? Extremely organised, extremely, well, it says pure, so chaste, traditional and wholesome. Okay, so we'll just call pure traditional. So organised, traditional, very emotional, and also very cultured, so a rather highbrow guy. So maybe Arimba's more sort of into the whole like a dwarven traditionalism. That would be kind of cool, but he's not independent or moralistic, so he... okay, so he's traditional, but he's quite happy for genocide, fair enough, and not independent, so he would take orders quite a bit. Okay, so again, like we're doing, got a bit of a dark side. Miri's a little bit more simple. He's extremely confident, and he's empathetic, trusting, laid back. Okay, so we've got this, and not organised, so he's a bit take things as they come. Okay, so it's seemingly like our three dwarves that we've got left. They're very more sort of they're quite traditional. They're also quite laissez-faire, but they have dark sides. I quite like that, because another thing with this mod is that normally in the bio there is a trait which is the gay trait, which is, well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. If it's not there, then your pawn is heterosexual. What the Psyche mod does, it replaces it with something called the Kinsey rating, which I'm not familiar with, but the very, very basic way of looking at it is it goes from 0 to 7. Why 7? I don't know, but apparently 0 is heterosexual, 7 is gay, and then there's sliding scales. So Durin, so just Durin's very straight. Arimba, like 90% straight. Miri is pretty much right in the middle. We love it, love anybody. Let's see, what's it? Bonbon is straight, as is Scottish, Diver, and Tony. Okay, so basically that sort of will affect who might hook up with who, because we have got a fairly even mix of men and women in the fortress now, whether they be dwarves or otherwise. Bonbon's psyche, so extremely friendly, generous, moralistic, competitive, and experimental. So she's quite a bubbly sort of personality. Except she is not emotional, passionate, or romantic. So she's very nice to everyone, but you know, just don't try and make a pass at her. So she was the Cave World tunneler and then a housewife. Okay, so so it looks like whatever happened in her family life really did not go well for her. And considering Scottish is a hedge fund manager who is a pacifist, religious, and a junkie, no surprise then that he is extremely drug friendly, extroverted, and spontaneous. That makes sense. He's also got it's also logical, because I'm skipping over the more and less because they don't really have a massive impact overall. But he's not cultured, so I'm seeing him as more sort of like You know, he didn't come from money. He came from sort of like, not the gutter, but, you know, more the sort of low end of town. So he really does not give a damn about all of this high fancy culture stuff. He's more likely to be down the pub with a cigarette, quote unquote, in his hand, getting drunk off his face, and then just randomly going on a pub crawl if he wants to. Diver, on the other hand, she is the crime boss's child who then became a mercenary leader, who has a thing for aliens. She's extremely creative, trusting, and confident. Okay, that's a bit at odds with her background of crime. Okay, very polite, drug friendly. Okay, this is a bit of a strange mix. Not judgmental, not rational, not spontaneous. So that fits more in with her background. That doesn't. So, Tony, on the other hand, despite being our main hauler, is extremely laid back, logical, extroverted, but also naive, creative, and emotional. She's not upbeat, nostalgic, empathetic, or compassionate, though. They really are at odds with themselves. These little colonists, aren't they? Huh. We've also repurposed the bone dome into a proper kitchen, because one of the big problems I've been having with the old fuel stove is having to send everyone out constantly to these occasional plants which grow around the edge, and then having to bring them back here to fuel the stove. So now we have actually got this solar generator, and Scottish has gotten us the battery power technology. We can now actually have a... It's just so... Electricity has such massively improved these guys' lives. Speaking of which, I should probably build some more tables. Oh, that's handy. Just had a chunk of spacecraft land nearby. Ah. Looks like there might be a freaking space battle going on overhead. Either way, we are going to get some steel and components from that. Very handy. And whilst it is a bit morbid, exhumation and all, we are finally bringing Nice to a proper burial in the tomb that we've just completed in. Diver may not have known him, but you're doing him a good deed, Diver. He really didn't deserve to go out the way he did so soon as well. And here we go, tomb on the left, still under construction, but hey, at least you get a proper sarcophagus. Ironwood as well, so I think rather suitable for a dwarf. And let's have a look at the artwork. I think our first piece of artwork here in the Fortress Colony, whatever I decide to call it, a Review 6V1111. Okay, let's call it the Leet. The sarcophagus bears an illustration of Miri sitting next to Nice's grave whilst gazing at a faraway tar pit. A spectral image of Nice looks over the scene with an exhausted expression. The overall composition is dynamic. The lower part of the image is dominated by a thresher. This image tells the story of Miri visiting the grave of Nice on 11th of April. Ah, that's actually surprisingly fitting. Sometimes these can be rather silly. Another little job I've also put up for our little dwarfs and co are these little blue diamonds here. What those means is I've marked those surfaces for smoothing. This can only be done on raw stone. You can't do it on constructed items or any sort of walls like that. The main reason I'm doing it is because uniquely for smooth surfaces you can inscribe artwork on them, which does improve the mood of people going around. Of course, that is unless frickin' boomalopes have decided to go insane. What to do? Well, I'll get on that in a minute, because the other thing is to start laying some power cables running from our little improvised setup here in order to get some lights going and down here, because then I can finally get the workshop up and running and stop having everyone sitting out here, because they do actually get a work penalty from being outside, which is a bit odd. But since the boomalopes have gone bonkers, definitely gonna set these guys up in the old sandbag defense and wait for them to come along, because boomalopes are quite nasty. Boomalopes and boomraps, but especially boomalopes mainly because they're bigger, because those big old pustules on their body are full of explosive material. So this should be a fairly quick fight, but yeah, that's exactly what happens. A big explosion and fire. and you do not want those things to get anywhere near you. Okay, here we go. Go on, bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bangity bang. Kill the walking suicide bomber. There we are. Okay, fine. You know what? Everyone with a gun, stand to one side. Everyone who doesn't have a gun, just beat the living crap out of everything else. Right. Okay, that's just about outside the radius. Nope. I would like you guys to shoot it. There we go. Well, we've got some very, very unusual meat. You certainly don't tend to get boomlope meat at all. Purely because, you know, they are organic suicide bombers. The one disadvantage I do have with this being in a arid biome is the permanent summer. I did say previously it was quite handy, purely because it meant I could grow constantly without worrying about seasons. The bad thing is that it's kind of hard to track, you know, where you are in time. Things do kind of run together. Oh, now this is interesting. So Miri has wooed Tony by comparing her to a glimmering aurora. Tony was attracted and is now Miri's lover. Ah, so while smoothing some stone in amongst the vomit and next to the skull-faced killing machine, they hooked up. Okay, that's unexpected. And of course the very first thing Miri does is immediately run off and start working on the blueprint for the double bed. You horny little bugger. Ah, another elven trader coming in through the frickin' thunderstorm. An exotic goods trader. They may finally be the ones to take those android parts I've been hanging on since for flipping episode after episode. Okay, Scottish, use your banking skills. If you don't get struck by lightning first, let's see what these guys have. Okay, now we have some very, very interesting things we can do. We can get the Android assembly kit, which will again get me an Android, the very basic ones, up and running, so we'll buy a brand new Colonist. Although TechProf's Sub-Persona Core, when used, the AI will teach you the technology you're currently researching instantly and for free. That is incredible. I haven't encountered those before, and we've got the cash, we can do it. Well, actually, thinking about this, now we're actually going to be getting an Android. Let's have a look at the parts which we were. I was just going to harp over. So advanced power converters can only be used T3 and above. The tricorder. Okay, so I might want to keep the tricorder. And hydraulic arms, more carrying capacity at expense of agility. But then that'll leave me down. So in that case, plasteel, hyperweave component, advanced component. I think what I will do is actually, no, I just realised what I'll do is I will take the telescope, because you can't actually get the telescope any other way. You have to get it from traders. Oh, I can't quite afford it. I could trade some components. I think I'll do this. Why are these ones worth less? Oh, whatever. I only need just enough to get me over. There we are, 5. Okay, I can do that. That's survivable, and whoop! Right. So let's install the telescope there. Right, and what research? Okay, because it's going to be a research could get. Oh god, because this is annoying because I've got so many mods installed. I don't know which one I want more. So looking at everything, realistically, microelectronics is going to be the best one for me. So let's haul that urgently. Where is the TechProf Persona Core? There it is. Right, Scottish. Use that Persona Core. So theoretically, microelectronics should automatically be researched. Technology given, microelectronics. Simple as that. Ah, but what that also does, microelectronics specifically, what it gives me access to, where are you? It gives me access to this, the high-tech research bench. That's basically the research bench I've got at the moment. This is just dirt simple. That is actually going to really speed everything up now. But more importantly, I want Scottish to assemble our new android. And there we go, Aaron the android. Let's have a little look-see at him. So, mechanical colonist, fine. Simple-minded. Okay, so permanent 20 plus resistance to psychological breaks. I don't know why the particular mod I'm running at the moment allows androids to have psychological breaks. There's loads of robot mods, but this is the one that's the easiest and most stable. So very strong back, can carry a lot of stuff, and is radiation resistant for obvious reasons. And he doesn't have a psyche button because he has no psyche. He's as basic can get. But of course, he's not going to be frickin' Aaron. He is going to be Crichton. And he is good at construction, plants, animals, crafting, and he's not too bad at shooting either. Okay, so we got another good all-rounder. Now hopefully this one's not going to get shot by a missile out of left field in 3 frickin' seconds. So as I was saying, this robots mod I've got running for Crichton is a little bit odd. Primarily because although they don't need sleep, they do eat food like other colonists, and they do need recreation. There was a mod, I can't remember what the name of the mod was, but there was a mod where basically they ate electricity, and that was it. That was all they needed to do. They were very, very overpowered, those robots, but they were incredibly hard to make. You couldn't just get kits like freaking Crichton. You needed to build a full-on lab. But one of the good things about Crichton here is that he will never need sleep, ever. So he will work whilst everyone else is having a nice nap. And yeah, very, very happy to have you aboard, Crichton. Although hopefully the simple mind, insert obvious musical reference here, will allow him to avoid most of the problems he will have living in a freaking ex-volcano. Ooh, more elves on the way. Bulk good traders this time. Very nice indeed. Very handy. Although we really don't have that much to trade with them. Oh well. You do what you can. I just realised because I've got the tricorder, the doctoring implant, which I left before so I didn't sell it. It needs a repair kit in order to install it. So I do still need to do a bit more research before Crichton can actually figure out that human beings aren't supposed to bleed out of any orifices apart from the one which you're thinking about right now. Because if I can get Crichton, either through the tricorder implant or just through trial and error, to be a good doctor, that would be fantastic. Very sort of... oh, what was the name of the character from frickin' Voyager? The hologram doctor. Very that-ish. Although just looking over the base, we are starting to get most of it cleaned out of rocks. And now we also did do the air conditioning research, so I can now start looking at building a full-on fridge here. But like I said, I need to get these walls smoothed so that I can lay power cables. Right, what does the second lot of elves have for trading? They haven't got any sort of items I can't make myself or really want. Yeah, they haven't really got anything I could want, so I'll just get some components, make up for the ones which I lost. Oh, that was nice. Those elf traders gave me some old goblin crap which they found lying around. I don't know if I should be grateful or mildly insulted. Oh, what is this? What is this? Ancient Dwarven Stronghold. Ancient things rest deep in the earth where dwarves have dug too deep and reaped the consequences. Untold treasures lie in wait, possessed by a creature most fearsome with flame. Should we dare risk such dangers? Where the hell is that? Let's have a look-see here. So quite a ways away, north of the original Four Lads Old Settlement of Khazad-Duban, Ancient Dwarven Stronghold. Reward invulnerable shield belt. Okay, so... depends on what their shield belts basically is. If think of the rolling things from the Star Wars prequels, those sort of shield things that they had, that's basically what it is. You can't shoot in or out of it, so it's melee only, but damn, if I could get Durin with one of those that is completely invulnerable, holy crud, he would literally become a killing machine. But of course, something in it is going to be very, very nasty indeed. But, more interesting, there doesn't appear to be a timer. Because normally with things on the world map that appear with these little alerts that come up, there's a timer. This does not have a timer. This might be, I think, my big objective. Yeah, because the original 4 guys set out to prove that they didn't need Khazad Daban because of the stupidity of being next to freaking Claw Clan household. So they headed up north up this river here and founded Baruk-Gunud. If they can go back to this ancient dwarven stronghold as yet unnamed and grab this freaking artifact and maybe even kill whatever was inside it, that would be a fantastic way to stick it to the old crowd. Well, a bit more of a domestic episode only, but wow, what a finisher. I never ever even knew that these strongholds even existed in, I've no idea which mod that comes from. I'm presuming it is the dwarves, but oh blimey, I honestly expected this little series was just going to be a bit of a modded normal Rimworld run, but now we have an end game objective, which, believe you me, we are going to be going for. Oh, I wonder if it is going to be containing what I think it is. Probably won't be next time, but that is definitely what we are going to be going for, that one mountain vault. Either way, for the moment, thank you very much indeed for watching this silly little video of mine. If you enjoyed it, have a little look-see down at the channel, see if there's anything else I've done which takes your fancy. If so, have a little look-see, by all means, my friend. I'll see you next time, but more importantly, always please be wonderful to each other. Good night.